Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am back with a project that I'm sure nobody even saw to begin with. This is my 1987 Fox Body Ford Mustang 5.0 T-Top. All right, it's been about a year since I recorded anything content-wise or even have done much with this car, mainly because the video, the introduction to this project, did not do good. It's got like 500, 600 views, and that was uploaded about 8-9 months ago. So I am still very motivated to restore this car, but really wasn't motivated to film content on it because there was really no point. So now I have done a little bit since I last checked in with this car, and I also acquired another one, but that would be another story. But I did take the dash out. All right, so last time this car was on camera and I had it in my original introduction video, I did have the interior pretty disassembled, but I did not have the dash out, which is where I am at now. So the ultimate goal right now, what I'm going for, is stripping this thing down, you know, basically to the bare minimum for paint and body. I'm planning on doing paint and body in 2 different stages. So first, we're going to address the engine bay and the rust here on the floor pans. There's definitely some rust up here on the corners. So we got rust behind there on each corner. You can see a little bit of rust over there in that corner, which I didn't even show on the initial video. So that's a little bit more that I got to address. And there's a huge rust hole underneath this seat where it meets the back rear floor pan at the back seat. Got a towel covering it right now because this car is just kept with a waterproof water cover, so no more water's getting in it. I got it, you know, I pretty much washed it and threw a waterproof car cover over it, and this is where we're at. So now it just has to get worse before it gets better. Okay, so as you can see, we're all but dissected in here. I'm going to finish dissecting the dash, or I should say everything behind the dash up against the firewall. Now we'll come under the hood real quick, and this is where the majority of our problems lie. And I'm sure most people wouldn't restore this, but I've gone over this with my body guy, my paint and body guy, who does really good work. He's done similar work before, and he's, you know, willing to do it and take it on after multiple confirmations. I've asked him at different points, like, yo, just again, can I ask you, are you willing to take this on? You know, 3 months later, hey, you sure you want to do this? But he's always given me a yes. So hey, let's do it. It's an 87 T-Top. Fox bodies in general are getting harder and harder to find, especially unmolested. And, you know, trying to find a decent one for a decent price it's virtually impossible this day and age. Not saying it can't be done, but not easy. All right, and you got to be on it and ready at all times. Now with this, it's bad, you know what I mean, but it's an honest car, meaning that we can see everything that's wrong with it. And, you know, even though somebody tried to hide damage here on the aprons with Bondo, the fact that it's peeling itself off, it's being honest with us. It's showing us true colors, that it is a absolute POS. So in my opinion, it's an honest vehicle. It wasn't molested for racing or modified, or a kid didn't have it. The majority of the ownership of this vehicle was owned by an older gentleman who had it. So, you know, the car was pretty much just used as a weekend car. This was never a project car. It's simply just a poorly repaired vehicle is what it comes down to. Between the half-ass paint job that's on it, it looks absolutely horrible, which of course is going to get repainted. And this was a scarlet red car, as I mentioned in the original video. I don't believe, well, I know this isn't scarlet red. I'm not sure what color it's been resprayed. It's really orangey red, so I'm not sure what they decided to use on this, but yeah, she's hurt. But in my opinion, we can see what's going on here and we can address it. Now, one of my biggest concerns is the firewall back here. Let's see, that's where you're at the bottom of the trans tunnel, or the firewall. That's, you know, everything there is bad, and that's just even aside from the rust and the rusted frame rail, and it's bad, guys. But what I want to do is keep dissecting this. All right, so we got the harness pretty much all done here in the dash. Now we just need to finish getting the harnessing out, you know, from the firewall into the engine bay to get this completely stripped and ready for paint and body. All right, so going to completely take everything out. We're going to take the AC out, you know, what's left of the, well, you know, what's left of everything. I still got the ignition coil and, you know, power steering pump, and, you know, we've got some stuff here, but you know, definitely not too much here after the engine and trans is out, right? So should be able to get all this disassembled pretty reasonably. Take one last good look here at how she looks, because this will be the last time it'll ever look like this in absolutely destroyed form. All right, so there we go, guys. Time to get this thing disassembled and get this thing ready for a whole bunch of rust restoration and paint and body, guys. So let's get into it. All right, so after a few hours I spent messing around with this thing, definitely made some progress here. So you can see got some things disassembled. All right, whole harness is out. All right, so you can see how bad things are, even a little better now. Just absolutely terrible, guys. Look at this, man. Jeez, this thing. And there, of course, is our famous piece of Bondo right there. Look at that, perfect. Whole bunch of disaster down there, but look, got everything pretty good. Made a good amount of progress. Got stuff taken out, as you can see right here. So that is the whole, you know, headlight harness, fuse box harness, the big main harness that comes through the driver's side. This is going through the passenger side firewall. You know, it's got the salt and pepper shakers and all that on there. Obviously that is our AC. There is our HVAC unit. All right, and now we can come into the car. See that she is getting there. She's getting there. I still gotta get the column and stuff taken out so I can get this out. All right, that's got to come out, and I want to get our firewall cover here out and really get a good assessment. I did get a pretty good assessment here on the passenger side, and I made more discoveries. This thing, honestly, the more I take it apart, the worse it gets. It's so bad, man, but it'll make for a good comeback story, guys. So if we're looking over here, I knew this had some rust in that corner, but bang. Yeah, man, this whole floor pan is shot. So I'll insert a clip here of what the rear looks like, because I'm too lazy to move the seat out. All right, so there's the rear. All right, so, and then we got this damage here going to the front corner. All right, and there is some rust in there too. Not looking good. We can see some ground in there. See that light? Yeah, whole floor pan, guys. So it's going to need a floor pan here into the section into the rear. And it was leaking in here. I think it might be coming from the windshield. I'm gonna get the windshield taken out and either put a new one in or get this resealed, either or. But if we look in here, guys, we definitely got more rust, man. This is all rusted in here. It's coming like from the cow, man. You can hear it. It's not great. But honestly, most of this is just surface rust. I feel like it looks worse than it is. Where something like this, it's as bad as it looks. It's as bad as it looks. But all this right here, it's really just like the seam sealer got compromised, and it just started surfacing where the seam sealer is. All right, so I really think if this gets ground down, we can bring this back, you know, all up in here. You know, it's where the antenna's going through, the antenna wire right here. I mean, it's got rust. I think that's more just surface though, whereas we got crazy rusting that looks pretty bad in there. It's in the corner over here in this lower corner into the trans tunnel. I can't get a good shot of that yet because I don't have this fully pulled up on the sound deadener here. So I got a good amount of it up, but it's not all the way up yet. So I'm almost got it in one sheet for the most part. So I'm trying to keep that up and get this thing out, you know, just one sheet to make it easy. But yeah, once all this comes out, I think we'll have a really good look. Now, as far as this right here, this is where the damage is
on the firewall. And honestly, it doesn't look as bad from the back here as it does from the front. Now, this is supposed to be a perfect circle for the HVAC box, okay? Now, as you can see, it's quite mangled. And then it's got a crease coming down into here. I think all this can be pulled, straightened, and banged back out. And this thing here should be kind of like straight and pushed out and flushed too. So, doesn't look great, guys, that's for sure, but I think it is fixable, especially with access from the rear here. It can be banged back out, and I think that firewall in this particular area could probably get pretty close to, you know, restored. And if not that, it can get close with a little bit more shaving of the bay, which is what I'm going for anyway. So no matter what, that should come out good in my opinion. Got some work to do in here. Obviously got the floor pan in here. Just doesn't look good, guys. This thing is a rust, dang for real. This is a really bad rust project. If everything goes according to plan and I get this thing back, this will be one hell of a come up story, man. From, you know, it's got to be probably one of the more rustier ones that I've seen somebody attempt on, because we just don't have shock tower rust. We have frame rail rust. We have floor pan rust. We got cowl rust. We got rust literally everywhere, guys. You can even kind of see over here on this side, it's got a little bit right there too on the driver. That's a little bit, I don't know, it's not quite surface, it's a little bit worse. That might need a little bit of love, but there's a, you know, rust hole here on the inner trans tunnel part too, where it meets the floor pan. So I mean, there's just rust everywhere, guys. So overall, we're making progress on this thing. So this is more recent progress I've been making on this thing, because like I said, I've been wanting to work on it, but as far as content is concerned, first video didn't do great, which kind of sucks because I put a lot of effort into it. And it's not just the introduction of this car, but I also went into great detail on pricing of these cars and reviewed, you know, what it's like buying a Fox body in 2023 and 2024, guys. So, you know, went into great detail with 6 months of, you know, ads and research I put in. So I put a lot into that video and it's got like 600 views. So I'm giving it another shot, guys. I do want to really record this project, in my opinion, because it's a unmolested car, not, you know, raced up. It's T-top, original 505 speed. It just needs a lot of rust restoration and just a full-on restoration. But I think it's kind of worth it, guys. It's, you know, my opinion, of course. So hopefully for the, you know, 5 people that might have actually been interested in this and wanted to see some progress on it, hopefully this, you know, gives you some insight. I didn't give up on it. I'm still working on it. I'm actually going to probably keep diving into this thing pretty deep, and I'm going to try to get this thing to paint and body ASAP. So, you know, strip down completely and get this thing where it belongs, in the body shop. All right. And like I said, there's another one over there under the car cover. I was going to make a video on that, but I'm not even going to do it. So I'm going to stop here for today. We're going to leave this thing alone. Like I said, still got a little bit more stripping to do, and we're going to get there. So just, you know, basically just throwing a few hours here and there at it. And that's how I'm getting the progress on this thing. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. But hopefully you made it this far if you're watching this video. And I think it'll be an amazing build series, seeing this thing get turned around all the way from a POS Mustang to a beautiful 87 T-top. So guys, until next time.